Hello everyone, welcome to Discover This. Welcome back if you watched some of the other videos. I do appreciate that. Today we are in Balboa Park, San Diego, California, and we're going to talk about the time that the nudists took over the park. And it was sanctioned, part of an event, but there were some people that weren't very happy about it. All the nudity, or as Radar O'Reilly says, nudidity. So let's go take a walk and see what this is all about. So in 1935, 1936, there was the California International Pacific Exposition here in San Diego, and specifically in Balboa Park. And as part of that exposition, the promoters brought in from the Zorro Nature Park in Roselawn, Indiana, they brought in about 20 people to do their thing here in San Diego. So they set up basically a nudist colony inside Balboa Park here, and they did some performances. They did like these 20-minute performances and just kind of entertained throughout the day as people would come in and watch. So the people from the Zorro Nature Park set up the Zorro Gardens nudist colony here in Balboa Park. And again, they did these 20-minute performances. It was a show called The Celebration of the Sun God. But basically what they were doing was celebrating nudist living and that sort of thing. And people paid to watch these performances and watch these people just hang around down here in the park. And they said approximately 360,000 people watched this performance throughout the 1935-1936 exposition. And that doesn't count the people who kind of were watching for free. So basically, the setup is they had some partitions up along in here, but they had peepholes in the partitions, and people could come in or walk along and see what was going on. But the paid people would come down here and they would sit down here and watch the performances on that little stage set up down there. So these railings here, you'll see in the pictures from the time that these railings are the same railings, and they had chairs and things set up along here for people to watch the performances down there. Now the city has set this up now as a garden to attract butterflies and birds and things. But back in 1935, 1936, it's a bunch of naked people. So not everyone was super thrilled that there were a bunch of nudists in the park. And one of the other people that the promoters had brought in was a burlesque dancer by the name of Sally Rand. You may have heard of her. She was pretty famous. But they brought her down from the Bay Area, and she performed off and on for about a year during the exposition. And after one of her performances, a reporter had asked if she had seen the Zorro Garden performances, and she said no, that she actually refused to see them because her dance was an art form and did not glorify nudism. Well, that kind of riled up the Zorro Gardens folks, and they started protesting Sally Rand's performances here in Balboa Park because of what they interpreted as her rude comment about their lifestyle. So there's always drama, even among the nudists. But right down in here is where they would perform their play and do other things. They would recite stories and frolic, I guess, if you will. But this was it. And then, you know, the audience and the looky-loos would be all up there. So again, about 360,000 people watch these shows here in the gardens. So that's a pretty good turnout, I'd say. Now the San Diego History Center, which is actually right next door here, has a lot of photos and other information about Zorro Gardens, and not just Zorro Gardens, but the park as a whole, and the exposition and just the history here. So if you're ever in Balboa Park, I would encourage you to visit the History Center. So that about covers it from Zorro Gardens, or uncovers it from Zorro Gardens in Balboa Park, and the story of the nudists in the park. And I thank you for watching this video, and we will catch you on our next adventure on Discover This.